How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be doing a reaction to the Bee Gees' Be Who You Are. So, if you haven't already done so, please smash the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get started. Okay, everybody, so Be Who You Are, it is from the Living Eyes album, which was released in 1981. So I've been learning about the Bee Gees, of course, and this is during that time that they were banned. I believe it's February 1980, if I can remember correctly. I just read it somewhere. It's kind of when that censorship ban started, when it was really hard for them. So I'm just going to read a little bit about the album, just so we have some background for the people who aren't very familiar. Living Eyes is the Bee Gees' 16th original album, released in 1981. The Bee Gees turned away from the disco sound that was prominent on their work in the mid to late 1970s with this album. However, the album was not a commercial success, perhaps due to their being so strongly associated with disco. It sold 750,000 copies worldwide, compared to 16 million copies of their previous studio albums. And its previous studio album, Experience Having Flown. Oh, that was a good one, though, in 1979. So, yeah, this will be interesting. I looked over the lyrics a little bit, and I really like the lyrics thus far without even listening to it. So let's get started.
Be who you are. Don't ever change. The world was made to measure for your smile. So smile. Those crazy dreams we threw away. I never been alone with you. I never could. They say set free. be who you are. I bless your name. Ain't all that sadness cause the rain. And we stay. Be who you are. Seize life and find a way, and I will be the shadow loving who you are. Be who you are. We were.
It's a very long song. So first off, I forgot to mention it. Renee actually recommended this song. He said it was going to be melancholy. I think it definitely was a melancholy. But number one, something that I think you guys probably don't even care about, but that I, for me, personally noticed is the snare drum in the distance effect that they did. You know, snare drums, whenever they're asked to do that kind of da-da, da-da, in the distance, I personally really like that effect because it makes you almost yearn to hear what's going on. Like, is this setting up something? Is something about to happen? Is this going to turn into a march? What is that? Something is in the distance. I like the fact that it gives you as a listener like a geographical location. You know, it's something far away in the distance. And as it gets louder or as it gets softer, you can kind of feel like, oh, it's closer or it's further. It's kind of how I feel. Number two, another thing you guys don't care about, but I definitely heard and I see prominence with it, is the utilization of the French horn. So in that big long intro, French horn is there, and they kind of, to a certain extent, do the same effect of like a horn in the distance, you know? I think French horn, yeah, I would say French horn does it better than trumpet, but French horn, when it's kind of given that part kind of in the distance, you know, where the strings are just kind of drowning it out, I really like that because I feel like it's kind of like a hidden message that's kind of trying to break its way through, but it's not exactly there. Number three, I definitely think this wasn't a hit, and I know it wasn't a hit, but what I can say is that I think the lyrics are great. You know, I think they're fantastic lyrics. Be who you are. There's a lot of people who struggle sometimes in and out, figuring out who they are. And I mean, I obviously have those struggles as well. I think everyone has those struggles. But it's so interesting and great how he so prominently says, be who you are. And I think that's really the best person that everyone can be, is just who they are. You know, you can't be somebody else. You gotta be you, right? So I really like that. The intro was incredibly long though. Now that being said, I'm very familiar with those types of pieces and strings. I can understand that stuff a lot more than I can pop music. But yeah, overall, I think it has a great message. Definitely not a hit, but I think it's definitely a great song for self-reflection. So those are my thoughts on this. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.